we are here today to formally and proudly present two hugely deserved awards to the museum project, which, by the way, won out over 200 other national projects at the time. First, a few formal thank yous to the CISC Ontario region for having the wisdom to recognize this wonderful and amazing accomplishment, to the CISC head office and marketing department in Toronto for their support and assistance. The CISC is the voice of steel in Canada.
Welcome to our two prestigious award winners, our special guests, and the assembled media. It is an honor and a privilege to be asked on behalf of our Ontario region of the Canadian Institute of Steel Construction to formally present these two awards here in our Manitoba, Northwestern Ontario region. You don't have to be in the construction industry to look at this building and realize the complexity of the design and the amount of collaboration required on all parties to be able to pull this off. The Canadian Institute of Steel Construction Ontario Steel Design Awards for 2013 Award of Excellence Projects Constructed Outside of Ontario is presented to Smith Carter Architects for the Canadian Museum of Human Rights.
Well, thank you. This project was a huge undertaking, of course. Really a heroic project, though, in a lot of ways from across the board. It was a labor of love. As I said, it's a heroic project, though. It's heroic in dimension. It took heroics to build it. I really think that this whole project is going to be something that we're all going to be proud of for a long time.
The Canadian Institute of Steel Construction Ontario Steel Design Awards for 2013 Award of Excellence for projects constructed outside of Ontario is presented to the Canadian Museum of Human Rights for the Canadian Museum of Human Rights.
Gordy, Devon, thank you very much for this. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Merci d'être présent. Je suis d'être parmi vous ce matin. It's a great honor for us to be a part of something that is really quite amazing. I think Grant said heroic. He used that. I think it's a very, very apt term on so many levels. Grant, congratulations to Smith Carter. You know, this has been an amazing project, and when you think of some of the people that have been involved in this, of course, PCL Smith Carter, structural engineers, CH, 2M Hill, design architect Antoine Predock, so many subcontractors like Walter Steele responsible for this. And of course, I think it's important to reach out to the Iron Workers 728 who are involved in this. Some of them came from Regina, some of them traveled to be here. So thank you very much for being here. Appreciate that. This is an incredible building, and it's sometimes hard to believe that it's actually real and standing behind us as we see today. When people from out of town sometimes look at photographs, they wonder if this is actually an architectural rendering or if it's actually real. And as you can see today, it is very, very real. You know, I've been told that the structural steel component, so all by itself, was one of the most complex buildings ever constructed in Canada. So it's very, very fitting that the building has received an award from the steel industry. Steel, as you can see, frankly, is all around us. The great bridges in Winnipeg, like the one behind us or the one over there, they're all built out of steel and they stand the test of time. It's one of the reasons why we think this beautiful building will be also here for generations to come and stand the best of time. I'm also reminded that we are in Winnipeg, and it was a steel ribbon of rail that really tied this great country together and made Winnipeg the home for the issues of prairie grain fields. So steel is the backbone of the museum, and as you can see it everywhere. When our offices, I can tell you, were around the corner at Portage and Main, I used to look out the window every day and I would see a crane building a girder across the horizon as it settled and nestled into this museum. These nodes that were so complex became more and more complex, and the fact that it's all in place and was done so seamlessly is simply a testament to the level of professionalism for all the design architects, from the steel workers, everybody involved in this process. And when you sat and look at this building and you see how breathtaking it is a testament to all those people who are involved. We are so proud of what you all have done. We're so proud of each and every one of the contributions that every steel worker and the other 1,500 tradesmen who poured their sweat and their inspiration into this beam, scaffolding, the wall, this incredible building. Because As Grant said, this is much more than a building. It's an expression of the power of human rights. And I think to stand up to human rights, you need a spine of steel, and that's why steel is such an important part of this museum. Le musée vous transportera dans un périple d'inspiration. You know, we're going to open our doors here on September 20th to the world, and when visitors flow into this building, they're going to be inspired by not only the human rights journey, but clearly what holds this building up, which is the steel industry, the supporters. So thank you very much for that. I can tell you that every Canadian, every visitor that walks into this building will be inspired, will feel that it's proud to be a Canadian, and the steel industry has a tremendous amount of responsibility for that. So merci beaucoup, thank you very much for the award.
The Museum for Human Rights in Winnipeg here is arguably one of the most complex structures in North America. PCL is very proud to have worked collaboratively with a world-class team like Walters Steel, Smith Carter Architects, and CMH2 Hill engineers.
Seeing that thing go up, the steel go up, seeing the kinds of effort that the steel workers put in, sitting there on those beams in minus 30 weather. I don't know how they did it, but it went up in a surprisingly short amount of time.
Walters Group is very proud to be a part of this Human Rights Museum. We're thankful that we had the opportunity to build such a complex and innovative project. And we want to certainly thank the ironworkers, Local 728, for their support. The guys did a great job.
Stanley, we're here in one of probably the coldest winters that we've had in a long time, other than this past one. And the guys did an incredible job getting this put together. I've been inside of it, and it's quite an amazing piece.
I can tell you that every Canadian, every visitor that walks into this building will be inspired, will feel that it's proud to be a Canadian, and the steel industry has a tremendous amount of responsibility for that. So merci beaucoup, thank you very much for the award.